It's that time. It is that time. It's another SJPORR beer experiment review today. Hey, a quick clarification today for some people that think I'm scoring really hard. I put SJ at 555, and you know that was actually not meant as a discourtesy to SJ, but it's a baseline beer. And so my idea was that 5.0 is the C, or the starting point from which people can go up or down on points. And I'm trying to leave myself, anyway, a lot of room so that, because not all beers can be, you know, 9.0, 9.3. I just think there needs to be some range, you know, if we're going to have a winner. And so, anyway, that's my approach. We didn't have a guideline. Everyone's going to use their own approach. So unless you did something detrimental with the beer, something happened in shipping, whatever, you're going to get a minimum of 5 points and you're going to move up, just judging from his beer. So SJ, don't be offended. Other people, don't be offended. It is the base beer, and that's what we're all building off of. So having said that, I did make a promise the other day to a dear friend, to Nathan Ouellette. And Nate asked, he said he was excited. He couldn't wait for me to do his beer. So I'm pulling yours up now, Nate. Nate's a great guy if you don't know Nate. And we've shared a few stories. This is the Check Your Head Old Ale. Now, I don't have any write-up on this, and I hear Check Your Head. It does make me concerned what kind of ABV he did with this, and you never know. It's an old ale that's aged on oak chips and Jim Beam. Oh yeah, from Troy City Brewing, which is the name of his brewery. So I'm gonna get this one cracked open. Here we go. It's coming out of more of a brown. That's, well, it is an old ale, I guess, right? So I'm never sure if I want to get the swirl off the bottom, so I'm avoiding that. But yeah, it's hazing the glass a little bit. It is warm out here, and it is. It's kind of a light brown with some golden hues coming through at the bottom. I can see it, think more on my side than you can on the camera. And about a 1 finger head. It started a little higher, was dissipating fairly quickly, but it's there. So there's a head present, and it's leaving a little bit of legs coming down on there, yeah, just slightly. So it's a nice looking beer so far. Let's get a nose. Okay, yeah, I now I'm really curious what else you did. I do get the oak off of that, and I do get a little bit of the alcohol on it. But it also has strikes me that you have a small bitter roast and maybe a small quantity of chocolate malt. It's not heavy. It's just like there's just a little bit there. And there's a slight breadiness as well. And I'm concerned that my sniffer might be a little affected because I was out on the boat all day with Christian, which was quite fun. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what I'm picking up. I get just a hint of the Jim Beam. I do get the oak. It's not real strong. The oak is definitely there. I do definitely get some, you had to put just some chocolate malt in that. It's not a lot, but I do pick up some. Now I'm really curious about your recipe. And I'm also, like I say, it seems like there's a little bit of roast in that as well. Not a lot, very light. So, all right, let's get a taste. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is jump into that first category I'm judging with the appearance and the head, carbonation, mouthfeel. This is nicely carbonated. It's like a medium carbonation, maybe medium plus. There's some good carbonation, but it's not over-carbonated, I don't think. And you've still managed to maintain the medium mouthfeel, which is kind of nice. Yeah, at some points I almost feel like it's a the full side of medium, and then at some points it seems like the light side. So it's kind of right in the middle. But the consistency of it, the almost texture of it, is quite different from the original base beer that SJ made. I like what you've done with it. Well, I think these old ales are really creative. Mostly, I think there's a lot of browns and stouts in the bunch, but this old ale, that's a nice style. That's a really nice style. You know, no particular flavors jump out strong. This is such a super balanced beer, I think. Again, I don't get a lot of the Jim Beam. It's there. There's some alcohol on this for sure. And I definitely get the oak. I can tell it's there in the aroma and the taste. But I know I'm still getting like some kind of like a chocolate malt and maybe a dash of like you know, it could all be chocolate, but a dash of like a roasted malt. Neither is a heavy presence. You may have put something else in there, like Victory or something. I'm not sure, because there's a little bit of a breadiness, almost a light biscuit flavor to it, which is interesting. And it's hard to say because we've got the wheat in here and the oats in here and everything else. There's just a lot being played with in these beers. But I've got to say that goes down smooth. Check your head, huh? Nate, please tell me what the ABV is on this. I'm very curious. Wow. I'm just enjoying this. This is one I'd like to actually drink another. I'd like to just kind of sit back and relax, enjoy this one more. This is so tough, this whole scoring thing. All right, first, in terms of appearance, you got a great color for an old ale. You know, I kind of like that you kind of got a brown with gold highlights. That's really fun. And personally, I think that's a good spot on kind of color for it. The ring has hung in there quite nicely, I've noticed. In fact, look, on a swirl, man, that head is just rebuilding. And look at the size of the glass. So I gotta say, in terms of burping. So I gotta say, in terms of like carbonation and the head and head retention and the mouthfeel, you know, the appearance, I think you did a great job. Some people could say it might be slightly over carbonated for an old ale. Yeah, I don't think so. No, the way it's on the tongue, it's very lightly on the tongue. I think that's just dead spot on. So on that area, I have to score you really high. I think you did a really good job. I'm giving you a freaking 9. A 9 on category number 1, okay? All right, aroma. I'm gonna smell it again and we'll get a number. The aroma's really nice. You know, I do get some of these characteristics. They're very light, they're hard to pull up. So I can't rank it super high on the aroma. I'm gonna go with a 7, which the way my scale is, that puts you, you know, between that C and the A. So it's kind of like a B or B minus, I think, so to speak. But a 7 on that. Now, on taste. You know, you could have had some more pizzazz or whatever, but I just think the thing that pulls this one through so well is the balance on it. It has a really, really nice balanced flavor. I get a little bit of that Jim Beam. I get some of that oak on there. I get whatever those extra malts you put in, whether it's biscuit or chocolate or roast, but they're really light and or at least really well played in your quantities. Yeah, this is just a super super well balanced beer. It's not a jump out and say grab you one, but it's a super balanced beer. I'm giving you an 8 on that. So overall, you've got a 9, a 7, and an 8. It gives you an 8.0 score. But I say do yourself proud, because I think this is a really nice tasting beer. And that, in fact, I want to go to the next step and say, I would really dig to see you work on this recipe and come back with a different yeast, and then maybe change up some of those base malts to take it more the direction you want, and go for a full-on old ale the way you really would want to make it, because you have a nice start here. I really like the start. So I think that if you came up with some other kind of yeast, whether it was a Belgian or like an Abbey ale yeast or something, I think you got something going. For me personally, oh Nate, you know the beers I like. I would up the ante on the body a little bit, and make it a little higher alcohol. But that's just me. What can I say? All right, this is fun. This is a great one. You guys are gonna enjoy this. I think so. Check your head, old ale from Nathan Ouellette at Troy City Brewing. I will see you on the next SJPORR beer review. Cheers.